Happy Tuesday. You are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. So today is Super Tuesday. So we're going to do sex talk with Kaen Stacy, because when you're up against politics, what's the only thing that's going to keep everybody's attention? Sex. So I figured we would do a sex show. Actually, I had a couple of people reach out to me, and they had certain questions that they were posing. And I was like, okay, we'll address that. So I decided to do this show, and I had quite a few people that sent me in questions that they wanted, or topics that they wanted to discuss. And it's a hard thing, right? You can't, not everybody is comfortable, first of all, talking about sex. And second of all, people are not always comfortable, doing it in front of people or live on the air or whatever it is, right? Because I don't know why, but sex even now is still taboo. Go fucking figure, right? So I got to bring it today because I'm up against politics and the coronavirus. All right. So sex always trumps all. So here we go on that one. But before we get the show started, I just wanted to also remind you guys real quick, because this weekend we got a fun event going on. I am actually going to be in the building. I'm going to be at the Villa Borghese, which is in Wappingers Falls. And we're having an event there with Mr. Miami Mike, who will be doing the music. And it's going to be a throwback for, favorites, old school, 80s, all our kind of music. There's going to be special performances by freestyle recording artists. Sarah's going to be there. Shy is going to be there. We're going to have the guy performing the Mexican, the OG season fit Miranda. And then we are going to party our asses off because it's an amazing deal. So the tickets are only $50. So you get this show with 3 performers plus Mr. Miami Mike doing old school music. And, I'm going to be there too, so I could drive you guys crazy, and maybe I'll steal the mic. You never know. But tickets are only $50. So you get 3 drinks included and international food table or stations, whatever the hell you want to call it. So you get to eat and drink for $50, which is pretty freaking good. I mean, 3 drinks, guys, if you're taking a date, after 3 drinks, she might actually really like you and you might get some. Once you go to the 4th or 5th or 6th drink, she may be passing out before you guys are going to do the nasty. So, you got to know your girl. So, it's all good. Or it could be the reverse. Maybe your guy is a lightweight, and after 3 drinks, he gets whiskey dick and he's done. So you want to cut him off at those 3 drinks anyway. See, look at that. I didn't even jump into the show yet, and I'm already at whiskey dick. Hi, how are you? So anyway, just to remind you, it is at the Villa Borghese Villa Dance Party. If you want to go, either reach out to me or comment on the feed. I think we have Rochelle listening. She can help you with that as well. You do need to order tickets in advance. They need to either go through one of us, or you can purchase them on, I think, Eventbrite or from the venue itself. But it must be purchased prior to Saturday. So that is March 7th, Saturday. Be there. I'm going to be there. I haven't been out. I'm like an old lady now. So you need to come and, eat, drink, and be merry. I was going to say eat, drink, and fuck, but it's probably too early for me to say that, right? All right. Anyway, let's get back to real sex with Kaen Stacy. So I was definitely like, when people reach out to me and ask me things, I actually really quite enjoy it. Because it's, it's fun because I like to talk. You all know I like to talk about the pink elephant in the room. And sex, no matter what it is always the pink elephant in the room. It's like as if none of us do it. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. It's still so taboo. I'm going to look here because I see a lot of comments coming in and I did not get the chance. I haven't looked at them yet. But, again, I just want to say this out loud, okay? I understand that not everyone is comfortable talking about a lot of things publicly. Therefore, you can always call. You can call into the show, but not say your name. So unless everybody and their mother knows your voice, which I'll get that thing where we could like disguise the voices so you could sound like Darth Vader asking like, who likes anal. But no, I don't have it yet, but nobody's going to know who you are unless they know your voice. But if not, you can send me in your questions, comments, whatever, and I will anonymously, discuss it. I'm old school. So whatever you say to me stays with me. Your name will never be mentioned. Only if I'm discussing the topic, only that you're the one who told me about it. But I always use other people's stories and experiences to try to help other people and bring awareness to things. So always know that I know many deep, dark secrets about people and I would never share them on the air. So always feel comfortable with me to reach out if you want to talk about a topic or get some help with something, or just you think it'll be a fun show, reach out to me because I'm happy to oblige. I have to tell you something. I saw, and this is a good start to the show, I saw a meme on Facebook and it says most of you are going to catch chlamydia before you catch the coronavirus. I thought that was fucking funny because now everybody is in an uproar about this goddamn coronavirus. Don't get me wrong. No one wants the coronavirus, to come to anybody. But Jesus Christ, I went to the supermarket yesterday. It wasn't even the supermarket. It was Trader Joe's. And I was like, what, are they giving shit away in here? What the fuck is going on? I couldn't even pull in the parking lot. It was insane. And I'm looking around and I said, my God, it's like it's going to snow or something. Like how every old lady knocks you down for milk and water and bread and eggs. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Everybody was like nuts. And then I come home and I see on this was before we knew that there were confirmed cases here in New York. And I look on the TV and they're like, well, just in case you get stuck and you're quarantined in your home. I'm like, are you kidding me right now that they got to terrorize people? So, we got to be terrorized by the coronavirus. We got to be terrorized with Super Tuesday. So any of you that are missing the Democrats, doing their thing tonight and the whole political arena, I'm really sorry to take you away from that. But you know what? It just shows the type of person that you are because you'd rather sit here and talk about sex than watch politics because we're all fucked anyway. So it doesn't really matter, right? Might as well get fucked and enjoy it. All right. Anyway, there we go. See, I'm already starting. Imagine if I was drinking right now. All right, so let's see. I see that a lot of people have written stuff, and of course, Karen has to take her glasses off to see. Let me backtrack a little bit. I know you're all here saying hello. Hello, everybody. A big shout out to all of you that have tuned in and you are on Miami Mike Radio and you are on the Facebook feed. Thank you. I did put on my wig tonight, and my funky glasses. I went for like the goth librarian, something look. So, you got to change it up a little bit. So yeah, that was my thing. I'm like, I hate myself with short hair, but it's fun for the night. So I feel like I need a whip though to start spanking people while I'm wearing this, which I actually have done in the past at events, of course. Although it's none of your business where I do it. No, anyway. Okay, so I see a lot of you guys are tuned in here. I'm just trying to see if anybody made a comment. Whiskey dick. All right, Joe, you like that comment. First time I ever heard that one. No way. Well, good for you, Joe, if you never heard that one. Come on, guys, give me a little bit here. Nobody, come on, whiskey dick. I thought every guy has experienced that before. And for anybody that doesn't know what whiskey dick is, of course, I don't have a dick, but to my understanding, whiskey dick is when you drink too much and the big head and the little head do not coordinate, and somebody ain't up for the journey, let's say. So whiskey dick means you drank too much and you can't get it up. So Joe, good for you that you don't know what that is. Okay, what else? Okay, good day. So everybody's checking in, saying hello. I'm checking in with you. I'm glad you guys are in here. Yeah, the mass hysteria. Just get to the point already. Just, this is what it is. Yes, Sex Talk, Rocky. How are you? Well, you were on last week. Okay. Rocky, you love spank. Where's your hooker boots? I don't have them on today, but I'll put them on. So Joe said, no, not me. I have a lot of testosterone. I'm Italian. All right. So here is now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, talk like I always do. And we're going to go back and forth with people have asked me, like I said, certain things. So one of the questions that I was asked was, how often do you have sex? How often do you have sex? So, or how often, as in maybe how many times a week? And, you can't say how many times a week because some people don't have sex, every week. So you're going to say every month, my thing is, how often do you have sex? So that's the question. I think it's a tough question sometimes because it depends if maybe, I don't know. It depends if you have a partner or you don't have a partner. So one comment just came in, not enough, which is every man will usually say that. It goes with the okay, I'm waiting for answers. Okay, somebody respond to me. Somebody said it's been 6 years. Oh my. Well, that's a long time. And I guess some people do go years, right? So when you don't have sex for, such a long period of time, I don't know. I think it changes you. It's a function that I think we all need, to have. So, all right, I'm getting, okay, right. Okay, so that was the question. No partner since my wife died. I'm sorry. I completely understand how that goes. Sometimes you have sex and it's like an outer body experience because you're just going through the motions basically because you physically need it. That's the thing, is multiple partners or not, right? And that's the question too, right? So, again, we need to know, because I need the answer to the question, how often do you have sex? So how often do you have sex? And what goes along with that, I think, is how often would you like to have sex? So some of us may not have enough sex, and some of us may think we have too much sex. So maybe your partner has a more, insatiable appetite for sex than you do. And if you're in a relationship with someone, you're supposed to have sex with them, right? Because if you're in a relationship with someone, see, my feeling is this: if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're supposed to be the one having sex with them, if you don't have sex with them, then who's going to, right? There's only but so much time that you can have sex with yourself, right? Although you guys know me personally, I'm all about that. You know what? 3 minutes, good to go. You don't have to deal with nobody's drama, nobody's bullshit, nobody's nothing. So, I'm just saying, don't knock it, either. But all right, let's see. I'm getting some. Okay, you see, there you go, Jen, with yourself or someone else. Absolutely. And I did have that in my notes as well. With yourself or with someone else. And that's true. So the good thing, how many times a month depends on if in a relationship or dating. Right. So the question would be, if someone that is actively having sex, let me reframe it. Someone that is actively having sex, that is in some type of a relationship with whomever, how often do you have sex? And no one's answering the question because there are a lot of people watching. Okay, 2 to 3 times a week at least was one comment. Some people can't. Some of us need to have feelings towards our partner. And yes, Rich, that is a very good, and that is true. And that was something that I was definitely going to get into as well. What you need further than that. But right now, this is the question at hand, and we will go further into it, because there is a difference between intimacy and just raw sex. So we're just looking for numbers right now. Every night, my wife thinks it's too much. So again, like I said, I think that that's the thing. When you're in a relationship, there's the question too. Does marriage ruin sex? I mean, seriously, because, it's like, this sounds really fucked up, but, you could love eating, filet mignon every night, or let me not skeeve out the vegans. You could love eating pizza every day. It's your favorite food, no matter what, you want to eat it every day. But at some point, you're going to be like, I'm good on the pizza. I need, like a burger or something, or, well, you're vegan. I need a tree. I don't know. So, it is a very, it's hard. I mean, to have sex every day when you have responsibilities in life, definitely is tricky. It really is. I mean, I remember when, my husband was here and, I couldn't keep my eyes open, especially when I had my son. I couldn't keep my eyes open. So, like having sex, it was like, oh my God, like that's one more thing I have to do before I go to bed. But I think that our lives all, evolve and change. So, it's a very open-ended question to ask somebody how often they have sex. I mean, I think if you're in a relationship and, you live with the person or whatever, and your life, and you don't have young children, banging on the door in the middle of the night, I would say 2 to 3 times is probably like the average, whatever, right? I think that would be I think everybody would be okay with that. But when you're single, I don't know, it's funny. Sometimes when you're single, you have more sex than you do if you're married. And then other times it's the opposite. So I guess it really depends. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me read here. Where am I? Okay, we got that. Okay. 10 years with my wife. I want it every night. She thinks it's too much. I love that. Don't knock it till you lick it. Very nice. That's good advice though. Yeah, but remember too much sex can kill the romance in a relationship. Sex can kill romance? Really? How does sex kill romance? I'm not sure about that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends. It depends on what kind of sex you're having. If you're having whip me, beat me sex, then yeah, there's no romance in that. But if you're actually connecting on another level, then I think that would be romance. No, I don't know. Who am I? All right. So we got an everyday. We got, but if you're just bed buddies, then outdo yourself sexually all you want. Okay. I'm trying to see. All right, that's it. I'm not getting a lot of input on this one. All right. So the moral of the story, the consensus seems to be from some of what we have figured out was 2 to 3 times, some people every day. And again, I think that the hard thing is that not everyone's sexual appetite is the same, right? So hopefully you can connect with someone, especially if you're doing it second time around, you can connect with someone that that has, enjoys it as much as you do, right? All right, so here's the next one. I got to keep my eye on the time because I have somebody that wants to call in as well, and I'm losing track here. The next one is, do you ever fake orgasms? Now, I know for men, this is probably difficult unless you're coming inside of them and they don't know, because a man ejaculates and you can physically see that. So it's kind of hard, I think, for you guys to fake it. I mean, I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I would think it was hard to fake it. So I've heard a lot of women tell me that they have faked an orgasm before. I don't know if anybody's going to admit to that right now that's watching. But I know some people, they tell me they fake it just so that they can get it over with. That's what I was told, that they fake it so they can get it over with. I guess, again, that just depends on the type of sexual relationship that you have. And I'm still a little unclear on how someone wouldn't know that someone was faking it. So that's just my personal, the body does things when you're having an orgasm, or at least it should, or maybe you're not doing it right. But, your body should tell your, lover that this is what's happening. I mean, it's just a natural occurrence, to my understanding. Again, I have never had sex with a woman, so I only can speak from my own self and my own body. So I'm not really sure about that. But even, as a woman, if you're having sex with a man, you can tell, usually you can tell just by the way the person starts breathing, the way they're stroking or whatever it is that they're doing, you can usually tell that they're getting close to that point. And if you can't, then you got to pay a little bit more attention, because you should be able to know and feel that. Okay, let me see if I got anybody responding here. No reason to fake it, but all women fake it at least once. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ruin that for you. I have never faked an orgasm, ever. I am such a bitch that if you didn't make me come, I let you know that you didn't make me come. So I've never faked it because, why would I want to get it over with if I didn't come? So I got to do what I got to do, and then I'm done. So if I don't, if they can't make that happen, then when it's over, I'm just like, okay, whatever. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm the best at pleasing was a comment that just came in. So, that's actually another, topic that I wanted to get into as well. Which I'm not there yet. I want to just see what, if the chick is not enjoying it, yes, she's going to fake it. 1, not to offend, and 2, to get it over with. Okay. Your wife too, she's spoiled. We should be spoiled. Jesus Christ, if there's nothing else in life we shouldn't have, we should be able to come 20 times when we have sex. Come on. We deal with bullshit all fucking day long. You start to want to kill people, and then you say to yourself, why do I want to kill everybody? And then you think to yourself, I remember I used to turn into such a bitch. And my husband would be like, you're a real fucking bitch. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you need to come. And I'm like, ugh. You know, and I get so pissed off at him that he brought up the fact that I was being a bitch, you know, and then he was right. Because afterwards I was like, oh, okay, that was the problem. Okay. So, you know, you got to kind of know yourself and know what you need, you know, so that you can live your life, you know, more calmly, because it definitely does soothe the savage beast. I got to do whatever I got to do, and then I'm done. Karen Stacy has no time to waste. Well, you know, I mean, if I'm bored, then I'm bored, right? So we don't want to be bored. We want to enjoy it. And unfortunately, you know, that does happen, right? I mean, if you're with the same partner, even if you're not with the same partner, you know, some people are just boring in bed. So, you know, at that point, you do just kind of get off and then get off, right? Because you're bored. So you needed the release. Yeah, you think? You know, so yeah, I mean, I think we all need that release. I think life is very fucking stressful, and we all need that release. And anybody that and there are people, I did one of my sex shows, we talked about people that did not have an orgasm at 50 years old, had never had an orgasm. So if you've never had one, I did a whole show on it, and you should replay that and learn, because you are missing one of the greatest things in the world to do, and it will solve every problem you have ever had in your life. That's it. Dr. Karen is on here right now telling you that. Okay. You must not know how to fuck, or a guy has little dick if she can't wait till it's over. Well, and that's definitely a good point. I think that's very possible. And that's what I was saying, is it's bad sex. You know, if you have bad sex, right, or lay there like a dead fish. Exactly. Bad sex is bad sex. And I've also talked about that. I would rather not have, like I said, 3 minutes, get whatever you need to get. You take care of yourself, you're good to go. I think I would rather have no sex than bad sex. That is my personal, you know, feeling on that. Some people don't care. I guess, you know, they just do what they got to do, and then they feel better afterwards, and it's all good. And look, sometimes you do need that physical connection with somebody, but sometimes you just need to, you know, release and get off. So, you know, that's my feeling. So you guys are listening to Real Sex with Karen Stacy. So yes, we are Real Talk with Karen Stacy. We are live on MiamiMikeRadio.com, and we are on my Facebook feed, which is where everyone is commenting on the feed right now. This, I have to tell you, I'm probably going to have to do like 16 parts to this, because I have so much to cover, and probably going to be so little time, because I want to get to, you know, a couple of people did, you know, send me in things. And I also have someone that wants to call in, and he has some questions for me. So are you guys good? Can I take a call right now, and we'll get another voice in here, and shake it up a little bit, because he had a couple of questions for me. So, do you prefer morning sex or night sex? Oh, John, that's a fucking good question. You know, me personally, I couldn't tell you the last time that happened, but as I got older, I seemed to like the morning sex better for some reason. So, you know, now I got to go with both as my answer. But yes, there are a lot of people that prefer to have morning sex. You know, listen, there's nothing better. I'm sorry, but, you know, as a woman, you know, when you're sleeping, and of course, if it's like, I can either go back to sleep, like I don't like it when I got to get up too goddamn early in the morning. I got to be able to go back to sleep again. But when you're sleeping and all of a sudden you feel somebody, well, not somebody, but your partner behind you, and it's like, bang, right up against your back, you're like, oh, okay. Or you wake up and somebody's head is between your legs. I mean, that's a good way to wake up in the morning. So, I would say that, morning sex definitely has its pros in that respect. So, morning sex is hormonal changes. Oh, shit. Who knew? This has been going on for a while, though. Let's see. It's much better. Okay, with chemistry. Let's see. Okay, somebody else loves morning sex. All of the above, and afternoon and evening and midnight. You go. There you go. That's what it's all. Listen, any time is good. All right, morning is the perfect time for sex because, quite frankly, your body's ready for it. That's because estrogen and testosterone levels are at their peak during this time. See, and now thank you for the scientific backing of why we should have sex in the morning. Best way to start your day, absolutely, with a nice protein shake. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Alrighty. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself into trouble now. So let me get Armando on the phone so he can discuss with us what his topic that he wanted to discuss, because I'm an equal opportunity person here. So I'm thinking, we're good to go. So let's see. I'm going to give him a call. And let's see. How do I do this now? Audio. There we go. All right. Let's see if Armando is listening. How funny would it be if he doesn't answer the phone?
You have reached the voicemail box.
See what I'm saying? Is that funny or what? And he doesn't answer the phone. Oh my goodness. Sex and coffee. Yes. Preferably, I was going to say, in what order would I would want that? I would say, sex and coffee. And maybe at the same time, I mean, there's nothing better than good sex and a good cup of coffee, right? Because the coffee's got to be good as well. If the coffee's not good, just like sex, I won't drink it or I won't have it. So I can't believe that my person that wanted to call in is MIA. Where are you? What happened? This is really funny. See, you can't make this stuff up. This is live. I mean, I can't pretend. You guys just heard it go right to voicemail, right? So, okay. Well, moving on. Moving on. All right. So we've established that we like morning sex, right? Was that the consensus? Good morning sex. Okay. Well, I will, all right. I don't know if I should you know what? I want to get to other people's questions because I don't want to leave that out in case people are listening and watching. I don't want them to think I forgot about them. I'm going to give my caller one more shot here and see if he is around or not. If not, we're moving on. Cause yep, it's going into voicemail. So let's move on. Okay, I gave it a shot. All right, so since I was supposed to have a caller just now call in, I am going to defer to what I was asked to. Okay, so here are people's topics. Okay. What's the longest you've had sex without having an orgasm? What is the longest you've had sex without having an orgasm? Now, I don't know if that was geared to men or women. I'm assuming this was a male that gave me the question. So the question was, what's the longest you've had sex without having an orgasm? So again, I'm gonna assume that that's a man because men always seem to, like they think they have to go on a certain way. Me personally, I can't answer that question because it would be like 2 minutes. So I can't, that I'm not answering that question. So let's see. Does anybody have an input? What is the longest you've had sex without having an orgasm? And again, I really think, although I guess this is for women too, because there are a lot of women that don't know, that don't orgasm or can't have multiple orgasms. They can only have one. So I know I've heard that there's a lot of women that have to have sex for a long period of time because they have to have a lot of stimulation in order to actually have an orgasm. So anybody can answer this question. What is the longest you have gone with having sex without having an orgasm? Bueller. No answer. I'm waiting. All right. I'm not seeing any answers here. I already gave you my answer. Okay, somebody's laughing at me. You laughing at me, Leslie? All right. Well, then the next question was, what's the fastest time you've had an orgasm in? So I divulged that already. I mean, I think that, and then the other question, have you been able to orgasm without physical touching? Now, that's a really interesting and great question, right? So is that like the art of mind fuck, to be able to have an orgasm without touching? I don't put a clock to it, but I make sure she comes before I do. Well, and that is the way it's supposed to be, Joe. That's how it's supposed to be. We're always supposed to come first, no matter what. No. But yeah, I guess that could be kind of tricky. But to my understanding, we need more stimulation than men do. So it normally takes a woman longer to reach climax than it would for a guy to. So that's the question. And then the other question was, have you been able to give blue balls over the phone? Which I'm not really sure what that means, but I guess that's like phone sex. I mean, if you're good at it, you could text anybody and give them blue balls. That's easy enough, right? I mean, what does blue balls mean? They get hard. They want sex. They need to come. I don't really know what that actually means. Yes, the woman should always feel pleasured before the man comes. All this sex talk, I know, right? I'm ready to like jump on something in here. I get ya. I know. It's too much. Thank God. Like, you just a glass of wine we'd be all over with. Maybe everyone is going to have sex tonight. Well, maybe, with or without a partner, right? They're just going to, do it. But yeah, these, have you ever been able to orgasm without physically touching? I'm trying to think if, that's a tricky thing. It certainly can be done. I don't know how many people, you arouse them and say bye-bye. That's funny. All right. Well, that's, we got to move on from that. So now, this one's a little bit tricky, and I felt bad when somebody reached out to me and wanted to talk about this. And what they said was, my wife has no interest in me, and I'm not feeling very good. We maybe have sex once a month. What do I do? So that is a really that sucks, right? When you're in a marriage relationship, and again, like we were talking about earlier, right? When one person doesn't have the same maybe sexual appetite as the other person, maybe they're no longer attracted to that person. which is really tricky. So what do you do? And that's a very good question. What do you do? And I'm not sure what the answer is to that question, right? Because there's only but so much you can take care of yourself. And I guess it really depends on the scenario and the situation. If they're not having sex with you because maybe you're an asshole, and they don't feel attracted to you any longer, then that pretty much tells you that the relationship is basically over, right? So unfortunately, at that point, I think you got to move on, or you need to have an agreement. I know, I've heard couples say that, they are not going to break up, but this one, this one has a boyfriend or this one has a girlfriend. Look, as long as everybody's on the same page, I guess that's okay. I don't know. I knew somebody that was into swinging. And whenever I hear about things that I don't really know, I kind of research it. And I looked into it because I found it kind of fascinating. I'm like, wait, what is that? So for anybody that doesn't know what swinging is, obviously it's when you're having sex, you're with a partner. Well, I guess there's all different kinds, but this particular person had a partner, and you find other couples to have sex with, and you kind of, switch off or whatever. And everything seems to be working off the permission of the woman. So the woman is the one that gives the okay, to have sex or not have sex. So, I mean, although if I loved somebody, first of all, I don't share. That's number one. Whether I love them, don't love them, I don't share. And that just skeeves me a little bit. I mean, to me, it's very intriguing. Don't get me wrong. But like, I don't know that after, the guy I'm with was inside of somebody else, he's going inside of me. I don't know how I feel about that. So I don't know that that's something I would be comfortable with. But I do think it's very interesting. And if your sex life is boring, it's certainly a good way to spice it up. Or maybe even, going, like, I always wanted to go to one of those sex clubs or something, because I thought that would be kind of cool. That's something I've never done, to kind of spice things up a little bit. All right. So let me look here. So again, the question, or it's not even a question, that's why I kind of stumbled on my words there, was, my wife has no interest in me and I don't feel good. We're only having sex once a month. What do I do? So that was my 2 cents on what to do, which I don't know that I actually, helped at all. But all right, let me see what everybody said here. Okay. We all had wet dreams, right? Yeah, right. The blue balls question didn't make sense to me. Yeah, I know. I was a little, I tripped over that one a little bit myself. So I was trying to, vamp that. Once a month sucks. Yes, my married friend is getting much support. Some women come quickly, some take forever. Some are multiple orgasmic and squirters. Can't wait to get to the fetish part of the conversation. Or get a good vibrator. Do you? That's it, man. Get stocking batteries. Actually, Walgreens is having a sale. It's like 16 batteries, buy one, get one free. So, all good. Okay, somebody said, I can't deal with open relationships. Fetishes, now we're talking. Touch me in the morning. How can you sleep next to someone every night and have sex once a month? It's very, again, that's a very tricky thing. I'm not, and I don't know the answer to it. I just, know that it does happen. Marriage counseling first, and if that doesn't work, it's over. Okay. That's a good, a good way. Like I said, you never know why someone isn't having sex. So sometimes it could be something as simple as, not simple, but it could be something as simple as hormones. When I had my son, I was 38, so I was old, and my hormones went cuckoo, and it was like somebody took a switch and went like this, boop, and shut it off. And my husband was like humping my leg, and I was just like, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? And I went to the doctor and I had my hormone levels checked. And, he'll be happy to know that since he passed away, my hormones are doing great. But I think that God likes to, joke around a little bit. What is it? 16 batteries, Karen. Are you sure yours isn't nuclear powerful? Good golly, Miss Molly. Well, how do you know the batteries were just for me? You don't know. Yeah, that's funny. All right. So what we do, we send my friend whose wife is not interested in him in the bedroom anymore. Much love, and hope that you guys can figure something out. But like I said, sometimes it is medical. I know we're talking about sex right now, and I'm not trying to, not to put a Debbie Downer on it, but, there are a lot of people out there that are not hormonally balanced. And men, if their testosterone levels are low, and not only are they not going to be able to maybe get hard and stay hard, but they're also going to become depressed. There's going to be a lot of other emotional things that are going to go along with that. So, and women, when your estrogen levels are not normal, you can become psychotic. And then women need testosterone. And the truth is that as we get older, those levels all drop back. So men's testosterone levels will drop back. Women's testosterone levels will drop back. And that is where the desire and everything comes from. So, yes, you need we need the mental connection. We need the physical connection. We need the chemistry. And that's probably the hugest thing, right? Chemistry. I know it's very difficult. Most people would agree with me. It's not easy to, usually the person that you have the best sex with is not the person that you're going to want to sit up with and talk, talk all night long, about until the sun comes up. Got to fix my wig here. And the person that you want to, to watch the sun come up with, sometimes you don't have that kind of sex with. So it's kind of tricky to get that, that balance between it. But chemistry is huge, which is why, online dating and all of these other things are so, difficult because, unless you have to physically be next to a person. You get these connections, and it's like it's like electricity, right? You're next to somebody and boom, it's like you're pulled to them, you're drawn to them. And, some of us that are a little more passionate than others live for that. We have to have that, because without that animalistic thing, we don't want to do anything. So it's a very, chemistry is huge. But you also have to be in the right place as well, because if your hormones are wrong, if your emotions are off, you don't feel good about yourself, maybe you're insecure, that's huge, because, as a woman, if we don't feel secure, then we're never going to feel sexy, right? So the whole thing about being sexy is owning it. And the same thing goes for a man. If you see a man, I could see a man across a room and they walk in and they have that confidence and that I got this room right now. That is what's so sexy and attractive. And unfortunately, life has this thing about breaking us down, breaking us down, breaking us down, breaking us down. And then sometimes we have these horrible relationships that break us down, break us down, break us down. And then you become insecure. And that insecurity now takes away from your chemistry, your sex appeal, your sexiness, because you've allowed other people's, I don't know what the right word is, shit to make you, feel differently about yourself. So you have to feel good about yourself. And there has to be a passion that is there. So now I know that I have people that are commenting. Now let me check back again. My allergies are going crazy today. I sprayed this stuff on my wig so that I could comb it out, and it was so fragrant that I'm having like I swear I don't have any problems here. I'm just like all stuffed up and I sound like crap, which must sound really good over the radio. Okay, one of my viewers has fetishes. How nice. Would you like to share those fetishes with us? Okay, let's see. Postmenopausal, not sure about that. I'm not sure which one. Hormones suck. Okay. When a woman wears nylons fishnets with an ankle bracelet, oh goodness, don't get me started. Our libidos change. Hello, does the Honda come with the bike rack? Pretty smooth feet, freshly painted toes, and gold anklets. Nice. Okay. So we got a little bit of foot. A lot of men have foot fetishes. That's a big thing. Does the couch does the couch have any stains on it? Okay. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm spot on. So I appreciate that. Now I'm trying to think where I was, because I was just thinking something and now I lost it. Where was I when I was thinking about that? Oh, the foot fetish. So 100 years ago, I worked in a strip club in where was it? Connecticut. I bartended. I didn't strip, and there was this porn star that came to perform, and she had one shoe on and one shoe off. And I'm like, she can't even walk. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And after the show, while I watched her hobble around, which I thought was retarded, but what do I know? I don't. And then she took a drink and poured it in her shoe, and then it poured into the guy's mouth, which I'm like, I'm throwing up. And after the show, I'm like, I said it to someone, I'm like, what's the deal with the freaking hobbling? Like, why would she have one shoe on and one shoe off like that? She goes, because a lot of guys have foot fetishes. So like they want to see her foot. And I'm like, holy shit. So she hobbled around, which I thought looked, ridiculous. But apparently the men like that. So, go figure. I mean, I guess, we should all be fortunate, those of us that have cute feet, right? Let's see what was said there. I'm trying to catch up here. Yeah, Joe, I saw your text. I'm not sure what it was, and I can't really look too much at it. I need like a description on that. Okay, in fact, foot fetish is so salient these days. I feel like a dude who doesn't like women's feet is a weirdo. See, there you go. All right, so that's that. So okay, so now let's go into more questions that were sent to me. Are we ready? I can't believe that my person disappeared on me and is not available for the phone call. And I'm trying to remember what I know he sent me what he wanted to talk about. Show me a fat ass, not a foot. That's so funny. And that was going to be one of my questions as well. What is your turn on, right? So some people are ass men, some people are boob men, some people are thigh men. Some women are attracted to guys with beards. Some women are attracted to a little bit of a thicker man. Some women are more attracted to a man that wears a suit. Some women are attracted to a man that wears jeans. Maybe like the blue collar, and everything. So that was always like a question to me, was what is somebody's I mean, fetishes are a little tricky, but I think we all have something that, we're attracted to. And I know that's why I always love, Italian men, well, Puerto Rican men too. Like I love, my husband would be like, you're getting too skinny, you're losing your ass. And I'm like, anybody that's calling me too skinny, I fucking love them. So, it's true. I mean, I think I just put on a few pounds and I'm not sure what the hell happened. And my son was like, Mommy, you were too skinny. You look too skinny. It's good that you put weight on now. And I'm like, ugh. So I know that everybody's different. Everybody likes different things. Some guys are only attracted to really, really skinny women. Some guys like fake boobs over real boobs. Some guys like real boobs over fake boobs. Some guys could care less about boobs and are all about the ass. So, I mean, everybody's got to have something, right? I mean, the other thing I've been told too is eyes. A lot of men are very attracted to a woman's eyes. Now, I didn't know with boobs that men actually saw eyes, so that was a different thing to me. I think they see your eyes while you're looking up at them while you're on your knees. Woo! There we go. And she said it. Okay, so let me see, because you guys are all going in here. So let's see what's being said. Okay, so we got no feet from certain people. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think women's feet, that I don't think about women's feet. Totally obsessed. Okay. So many places to lick and the foot is not one of them. I got 99 problems. That ain't one. The chipped toenail polish, even on the fingers, is a major turnoff for me, not for nothing. I agree, because for some reason it looks kind of dirty, and I'm a woman and sometimes it's hard, you can't maybe get that manicure in or pedicure in, and chipped feet definitely are, or chipped nails suck, so I get that. So one is short and curvy. All right, so I'm like your best friend. What about holding the feet while licking the ass? That's all. Well, there you go. I guess that would be a good time, but I would say that no one's looking at maybe, there you go. So now you're looking, can you look at the feet while you're doing that? Because I guess so, right? I guess you could see both. So that's like, killing two birds with one stone, right? All right, let's see. Somebody else, petite. Oh, one of my viewers has a Tarzan outfit. That's awesome. Where's Jean? A woman with a pretty face and great ass. Okay. Personality. Tits, legs, not interested in fat asses. Okay. The nylons, fishnets, ankle bracelet has always been my thing. So that's very true. That outfits definitely do work. Who knew something so simple could stir things up like that? Maybe you have somebody that likes, the schoolgirl outfit, and, that gets a rise out of them. So the fun part about knowing what someone's, I want to say weakness, but yeah, kind of weakness, right? So once your lover knows what dings your dong, it's kind of fun, because now you have that power to play, right? So it's kind of fun, like where maybe you have the little schoolgirl outfit on, but it's underneath a coat and nobody knows that that's what you're wearing. I had one of my guests that was so amazing that when she had her little sexcapades, she even created her own music, so that she progressed it according to the music and knew at what point, what type of sex she was going to be, or, what point of the sex act she was going to be at. And then had different outfits for each level of sexual fuckery. I don't even know what the right word would be. So that was definitely, it's very fun to be able to know, if you know that that's somebody's weakness, it's very fun to play with that, in my opinion. Okay, so also a bikini fetish. I have a bikini fetish too, but just because I like wearing them. Actually, I think I have an obsession, not a fetish, right? Okay, let's see. All right. Well, one of our viewers, listeners, is saying that their cock is the same size as my microphone. So anybody that has seen my microphone before knows that this is my microphone, and it's my best friend. It's my mic. And we all know that, we should all be this lucky, right? Lingerie, garter belt with stockings, thigh-high boots. Thigh-high boots seem to really be a crowd pleaser, I must say, which I'm very grateful for because I love thigh-high boots. I actually love boots. I have a shoe fetish. I don't have a foot fetish. I have a shoe fetish. So I love thigh-high boots. And you know what? When you put that on, you have on your thigh-high boots and you got a little skirt on or whatever, you know you're gonna freaking, you own that shit. You're right there. So, that's hot. A cute, flirty summer dress with flip-flops. Yeah, I mean, I think the summer dresses are cute, but the flip-flops, make it less sexy, I think. I love a girl who wears white jeans. Don't know why, but love that. Well, some women look very sexy in jeans. I happen to love a guy in jeans too. I like ripped jeans, and I don't like the jeans that are like falling off of you. I like to see that ass in there because you got to see, because if they got that tight little ass in the back, you know that they know how to use it. Anyway, okay. I love women who wear white also. How about her wearing a thong and a belly shirt only? Yeah, thong and a belly shirt. That sounds like Kelly LeBrock when she did in Mad Science, right? She had that little half shirt on and underwear. That was what she was wearing. And to me, she was totally sexy. Peep toe boots. There you go. Yes, we have peep toe boots. Those are cool too. Okay, so I don't know where I was with that and what I started with on that, but let's get back to here. You are listening to Sex Talk on Real Talk with Karen Stacy. And, I took it up a notch because the world is coming to an end. We have, Super Tuesday going on. And as far as I'm concerned, we're having a super fun time tonight. And we don't need no stinking politics. We don't need no stinking coronavirus. We just need to fucking be happy. Oh, did I just say that? Oh my goodness. I hope my mother-in-law is not listening to this. No, I'm kidding. All right. So here was another thing that was written into me. At my age, I have had a lot of sex and think I know what it should be in our lives. Yet, even as confident and experienced man, I still have questions and like to learn and grow. Sex is obviously good for us on many levels. My questions are, in your opinion, when does the sex become about connection and not ego? This is like a great, I love this. So we're going to go a little deep now instead of like, I got to fix the wig again. I don't know. It's annoying me. So, this is a good question. When does the sex become about connection and not ego? So earlier when we were talking about sex initially, we spoke about that where somebody was saying that there had to be a connection. So do we have to have a connection to actually have sex and enjoy it? And so I guess connection goes on so many different levels, right? Is it an emotional connection? Is it just a chemical connection? So, and he said, not ego. So ego means like, oh, I fucked the shit out of her, right? So is that what that means? So you're not like having sex to say you were the best lover that person ever had. It's just having sex to combust, right? I guess that's what that means. So I'm interested to see because we need to answer his questions. So again, the question is, in your opinion, when does the sex become about connection and not ego? All right. We're still on everybody's still on outfits now. Let's see. Where am I? I'm just trying to see. Where are we here? Black high heels, black nylons. Okay, we're still on uh oh, and on a chain leash. Oh, there you go. No fetishes there. All right. Yeah, so no one's answering my question yet. I know there's a delay with Facebook. Um so I'm not getting that answer. So in okay, in my opinion, uh sex becomes about the connection and not the ego. I think that happens when you're actually in like a real connected relationship. And I think that comes with age. I don't think that most younger people would really understand that. I think that yeah, Philip, I have really bad allergies tonight. I don't do drugs at all. So thank you so much for that comment. Unfortunately, fortunately, it was 60 degrees today in New York, and my allergies are going crazy. So I apologize for the sniffles, but, I can't, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so the next thing is it always about the climax? So I'm going with yeah. No, I mean it is, isn't it? I mean that's like going out to eat and not eating. I mean, to me it is all about the climax. We want. I mean, you want to please the other person, but yeah, the whole point to having sex is climaxing. All right, guys, you're on the feed. Stay with me here. We've moved on from the outfits now, and we are now talking, we're going a little more meaningful here. And trying to get to the nitty gritty here. I like a woman in leather. Okay, so we got all of these people that are still on the outfits. Okay, so the question is it always about the climax? Do you guys all have sex just for the climax? I'm going with yeah, but I'm not sure where that question led, but I would say yes. So what was the next thing? What we need from sex should change as we change. Yes, okay, somebody just said intimacy. I agree. I think that what we need from sex should change as we change, because when you're younger and you don't know any different, you just go with it, right? There are a lot of people that were with someone, maybe they were young and they were with somebody and they ended up staying with them, perhaps marrying them, and some people only had sex with that one person. So they don't even know the difference. They don't know what good sex is, right? So things change as your life changes, and it's good to kind of ask at that point, because you know what? I would always think in my head, if I had that type of relationship, how come everybody thinks this is such a good thing? Why does everybody talk about sex and say, oh my God, it's the greatest thing in the world? And then when you have sex, you're like, is it over yet? So, sometimes you got to realize that maybe you're doing it wrong. And that's something, unfortunately, if you don't have the right lover, you're never going to experience, right? So I'm not sure what to say about that. But do men and women always need different things from sex? So I'm going to go with probably. Because I think that women need more like foreplay in the head first, right? You have to have women have to feel usually some type of a connection, some type of something somewhere in order to open up, let go, release, That's what I would think. That's what I, know of women. And men don't really need that. Men, I think, well, that's not true. As men get older, I've heard from a lot of men that say they need to have that connection. They really could care less about just hooking up with somebody. They would rather, if they don't have a connection to them, that they don't even bother having sex with them. So that's kind of like a new thing for me to hear, because I don't normally remember men being that way. But I guess as we all get older, we need and want different things. So do men and women always need different things from sex? I'm going with yeah. And that I think that, it evolves. It should evolve with you, and it should also evolve with the person that you become and the relationship that you're in. I'm not sure if anybody is agreeing with me or disagreeing. So I'm going to try to look on the feed here. Sometimes it gets a little tricky for me to read on the feed because people have private conversations or other conversations, and I can't decipher because I'm going backwards to see everything. So bear with me on this. Okay. Where am I? How often do you shower with your partner? Oh, that's a good one too. All right, hold on. Let me just see. I'll get back to that one. Starts with intimacy, then it switches gear, and it's all about the climax. Look at how the topic brings us all together. That's what I'm saying. Sex sells, man. We got politics and viruses going around, and me with allergies that people think I'm a cokehead, which is always nice to hear. So we're here. We're having real sex talk. Because it's always fun, and it's one of my favorite topics. And one of, a couple of people had asked me about it, and I was supposed to have a caller call in, and I don't know what happened with that. Nah, I never shower with a chick. You afraid you're going to mess up your hair? Because that's why we wouldn't take a shower, right? Because it's not time to blow dry our hair, and if you get our hair wet, we're going to be pissed off. Okay, let's see. Oh, toys. We're at toys. Which part of the conversation initiated the toy part? I like it. I've done it in the past, but I don't do that now. Okay. Again, I apologize because I wasn't able to read the feed while I was talking, so I'm trying to catch up here. But no one's really responding to whether or not things change. Actually, I did get a response, I believe. Okay, so the next one was, when does rough sex stop being about passion? So that's a really good topic and question, right? You ever see on Facebook the memes, and it says, what we were always taught not to, choke each other, and now, everyone's asking you to choke us. So that's really a funny, it's a funny question, because sometimes, people like it a little rougher. And let's say this, what movie, what was that movie? All the Shades of Grey or whatever, right? That became like, huge. It was like, my husband used to call it mommy porn, he used to call it. And that became very where he was the Red Room and all of that stuff. That was like a big deal. And all of a sudden, people kind of started coming out of their shells a little bit with that. And, now that was like taboo. And now all of a sudden you got this movie. Well, actually it was a book, right? And everybody was reading the books. And then it became a movie, and everybody was watching, the movie. So very interesting, very interesting, because, again, so much about sex is taboo. Probably people tuning in right now, or like will be running off the feed because they don't want to hear about this, which is fine. But the, the taboo part about sex, that's the big thing to me, is the taboo part about sex, right? So, there are some people that do enjoy, being choked. And if you've never been choked before, you can't really say whether you like it or not, right? Because if you never tried pizza, you don't know that you don't like pizza until you eat pizza. So, and so this is something that a lot of people may or may not know, right? So, when does rough sex stop being about passion? Well, I guess, maybe if you're having a fight that day and, you're pounding a little harder than you should have been, I guess that would be not about passion and just about getting back at somebody. But isn't that passion anyway? Because you're being passionate about something. So, I don't know the answer to that. But, definitely, I think that people are more open to trying new things, and they might be more open to, rougher sex, right? Because some people are into that. Some people aren't. But that certainly, I think, goes along with passion. So let me look at the feed now, because I did notice that a few people have written things. And okay, they're having a private conversation on here where everybody's from. One of our listeners is leaving because he needs to go have sex. Okay, let's see. Comparing pizza to getting choked. Well, I wasn't comparing pizza to getting choked. I was just giving a comparison that you can't say you don't like something unless you try it, right? So, I don't do the choking thing. Might grab you roughly, though, through you all over a little bit, but the choking thing, nah. Well, it's an art form, and if you do the choking thing, it has to be done at the exact right time, and you really have to trust the person, because it's basically taking you to that point where you're just about to like pass out, and then you come. So, it's definitely not for you need, that's why when I became a widow and I guess, single, I had these people asking me about, are you a dominant or are you a submissive? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it was because this whole, 60 shades of gray, 50 shades of gray, whatever. So everything was about, dominant or this, that. And I'm saying, like, they're like, well, I'm very dominant. And I'm looking at, and I'm saying, I'm not looking, it was like messages or whatever. And I'm like, if you think, I don't know, like, that takes a tremendous amount of trust. So if you're going to let somebody tie you up, or you're going to let somebody, be rough with you or choke you or whatever it is, you got to trust that person. If you think that I'm going to have sex with you and I don't even know you, and then I'm going to let you, no fucking way. Are you kidding me? Right. No way. So, that comes with trust. So, even if it's just about sex, you still have to trust the person that you're with somehow, some way, in order for you to have the proper, exchange, for lack of a better word, right? Because I don't know if that's the right thing to say. But yeah, it's crazy. Okay. Okay, so now I got so choking, no choking. No one here on the feed likes choking. That's very interesting. But we have a pizza lover, which is very good. Thank you. I'm so happy that Lauren has checked in. Lauren is in the building. All right, so we're beyond choking now. Where am I? Is sensual sex the path to deeper intimacy, or is cuddling? Is intimacy about surrendering your power? That's a very deep. Is sensual sex the path to deeper intimacy, or is cuddling? That's a toss-up. I think I'm going with both. That's my feeling. For 1 year anniversary, get choked. John, that's a great idea. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Okay. Is intimacy about surrendering your power? So, I guess to a certain degree that would probably be correct, right? You definitely, that's the whole thing about being with somebody, but that's more being in an actual relationship, right? Is, when you love someone, they do have the power at that point. I mean, you always have your own power, but once you love someone, they do have power over you. So that's going to be my take on that. So you guys are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. And we are live on Facebook on my feed. And we have some interaction going on because we have Super Tuesday going on. We got Real Sex Talk happening. And I wore my gothic wig and my funky glasses, just to, change it up a little bit and make it a little more fun. I do apologize for my sniffles. It was like 60 degrees. And yet again, on a Tuesday, raining in New York. So forgive me and my sniffles, because, this is what happens. And when the weather changes in the middle of, well, now we're in March, so get used to it. I'm going to sound like this a lot. So now here's another sex thing, right? So somebody I know sent me a message and they said that, I was at the gym and a young man that I know, like 26 years old, told me he was feeling blue because he just broke up with his girlfriend of 5 months because all she wanted to have was sex and did not want an exclusive relationship. So, in this, so where are we with that, right? So this girl that was going out with this 26-year-old guy only wanted sex and not an exclusive relationship. So he broke up with her. So how do we feel about sex with one partner or exclusively? Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for the compliment. So how do we feel? And I've done shows on this before, but I always go back to it. So this is the way, although she's 26. I never knew at 26 years old that these, so young to be in not be in a monogamous relationship if you're having sex. When we were younger, didn't we do that? I don't know. I mean, I know we all went out and did our thing. Don't get me wrong. But, this is the new thing now. Nobody wants to have an exclusive relationship. People just want to have sex. And don't get me wrong. I mean, everything has its pros and its cons, right? I mean, if you don't have that kind of, some people put so much emphasis on a relationship that they make it like a strain, right? And it's not supposed to be a strain. If you enjoy being with somebody, then what's the problem? You want to talk to them, you want to see them, you want to have sex with them. So, I know there a lot of people are into more than one partner, or, these girls, I can't believe a girl broke up with a guy because he wanted an exclusive relationship and she didn't. You don't hear about this. When did this happen? Like a girl's just out there banging around. I mean, what the fuck, man? What's going on here? That's why in the beginning of the show, I said that meme. You're gonna probably get chlamydia before you get the freaking coronavirus, because people are out there bouncing around. And then I had a young lady on the show, Leanna, who is 21 years old, and she was saying that these kids are hooking up on Tinder or wherever, and they're having sex, and they're not even having protected sex. So, anybody listening to the show right now, if you don't know the person that you're having sex with, and you don't know if they're having sex with other people, or if you're having sex with other people, like, you got to protect yourself and whomever it is. I mean, if you're sleeping with only one person and you're not using protection, then, it is what it is. But you can't be, bopping from one person to another person and not use protection for, number one, not to get pregnant. And number two, not to pass shit around, I don't know. That's just me. All right. So that was that. So that was what I was talking about with people not having a relationship and just having sex with multiple partners. I have a couple of comments that are coming in that are saying that no, one woman, one man, no multiple partners, which I that's the way I live my life as well. And that's whether you're in a committed relationship or not in a committed relationship. To me, if my body is committed, and that's it. That's how that goes. So I don't know if you guys are still tuned in. We are Real Talk, Sex Talk right now, because we are up against the political parties that be. And it's a Super Tuesday, so I figured we'd make it super fun. A couple of people were really interested in the show, and I haven't even seen them jump in on the feed, which is kind of funny. And I don't know, I think we lost some of our beginner people. I think they're all having sex right now. I think that's what happened to everybody. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. So the other, let's see, what was my other questions? I still cannot believe that my guy bailed on me for the phone call. I almost want to prank him now and call again and be like, what the hell? I mean, I hope everything is okay. But yeah, that's kind of weird. And I know he had a couple of questions. I think his questions were about size, that a woman was complaining. Let me see if I can find it, because I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh, I got a lot of people here that are, I just saw so I just got a text message with a bunch of toys right now, no names, so that's freaking funny. There you go. I'm telling you, when it comes to your toys, go to Walgreens, buy one get one free batteries on sale now. Now, what was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for what he was texting me so that I could read it, because it was actually very interesting. And I'm always interested in what people, okay, here it is. Okay. I hear women complain about men sizes, saying that they are small, but I'm not small, and I have had women say no way. So I'm assuming what that meant was like, be careful for what you wish for, because you just might get it. So that women are complaining about the size, and if they're too small, they complain about it, but if they're too big, they complain about it. That's what I'm assuming is what that meant. So I don't know how many women out there are want to chime in, but does size matter? So does size matter? So I'm gonna say that It does, but it doesn't. So if you know what you're doing with it, and with yourself, then I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but I'm going to say that it all works. If somebody is not, let's say, the whatever, but I think that more women, and I could be wrong, and I'm just speaking for myself because I don't know that I've had this conversation with other women. I personally would rather somebody be too small than too big, because if it's too big, where are you putting that thing? At least if it's too small and they know what to do with it and they know what to do with everything else, then I think that that works better. But I think that I would feel bad for a guy that was really well endowed, where, I guess, certain women can take it better than others. But you definitely have less, I don't know what the right word is, but maybe less options, right? Because I can't say for sure. But let me see what I got people here. If you like to move it. I'm not sure. What, Tina, thank you. This is a wig that I'm wearing tonight. I vamped it up a little bit for our sex talk. So ladies, I need input. Does size matter? Yes, no, maybe so. Are you there? Where are you? Bueller. Does size matter? Yes, no, maybe so. See, what happens is there's a delay. So now I'll go to a different topic, and then everybody will start answering me from that. So I'll go back to it because I already told you my thing on it. Okay, so the second one is stamina. I have heard women complain about men being quick. I once made love to my ex-girlfriend and took 45 minutes, and she thought that I took so long because I didn't like her. So, that's so stamina. I have heard women complain about men. God damn it. I lost it now. I've heard women complain about men being quick. I once made love to my ex-girlfriend and took 45 minutes, and she thought that I took so long because I didn't like her. I think that, in that respect, I think that has to do with the man and how much control he has, right? So if you're hard while you're having sex, then you're into that person. It's if you can't come or you keep having sex and you're not hard, that would be indicative that you were not into that person. But if you're not 12 years old, a man shouldn't come that fast because, when you're, young, you come and, 2 seconds later, you're ready to go again. When you hit 40, 50 years old, you don't normally, after you come, you may not be ready to go again. Some guys can't come more than once. Some guys need a few minutes. Some guys don't. It all depends. But, I don't think it has anything to do with being into somebody. Like I said, the only way that it would have to do with if you were into somebody is if you were not able to maintain the erection. Then we would know that you weren't into that person. But as far as stamina, to me, a guy that can control himself long enough to please their woman, that's a good guy, in my opinion. You're not just shooting a load and running away. So let me go back on the feed and see if anybody answered my questions now. Oh, crap. Where am I? This is not, let me close this out and go back on it again. I can't believe these allergies are so crazy. This is nuts. I'm not digging this at all. Okay, where am I? Let's see. Okay. Size matters, but how they use it and where. See, and that was thank you. I'm glad you collaborated with me on that one. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Size matters. We got that one. All right. So only one person said that size matters. So we're trying to see, does size matter? And then the other question was, does duration matter? How long that a man can go without coming. Again, I apologize for my allergies this evening. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm certainly dying over. I'm dying over you. You guys are listening to Real Talk with Karen Stacy live on MiamiMikeRadio.com. And tonight we are talking about real sex. So, I was supposed to have a caller call in. That didn't happen. And this is Real Talk, and this is real, and this is live, and there is no script or anything, so I can't make this shit up. I tried to confirm. I hope they're okay. Let's get a little graphic. I want to say something that might freak everybody out right here. Not sure if I should or not. Say it. It's all good. You're not going to freak nobody out. We're all adults. We can handle it. I'm always interested to hear. And if you think it's going to freak somebody out, if you feel more comfortable private messaging me, that's fine as well. Whatever works. Like I said, to anybody out there, anybody that ever wants me to bring something up and talk about a topic, always message me. I can do it where anonymously, where no one knows that it was you. I read a number of questions from a number of people this evening, and nobody knows who it was. So, we're all good. So I'm interested to hear, we have a listener that wants to go a bit over the edge, apparently. So let's go. Come on. What else are we doing? It's Super Tuesday. Let's get it done. Let's go. Let's talk about it while I sit here and sniffle to death. I'm like Mr. Snuffleupagus here. All right. This is terrible. This is what happens when it gets too hot in New York. Okay, well, it's not graphic at all, but Okay, so give it to me. Okay, so there are all types of different factors that matter. All women enjoy it in so many different ways. Yep, absolutely. And everybody's different. That's what makes life so much fun. If everybody was the same, then, that's why there's somebody for everybody, right? So, all right, I'm waiting for the information, because if not, I'm going to go move on to the next topic. We need to either say it or move on. Okay, I'm not seeing nothing yet. All right. So that was another question too. How long should sex take? How long should sex take? I guess it depends, right? If you're having a quickie in the bathroom while your kids are running around, it should take 3.2 seconds, right? But if you're actually, what's better than like a whole freaking day of it, right? Like, wake up, have sex, eat, go back to sleep, wake up, have sex, eat. Sometimes you don't even eat. You just have sex, pass out, wake up to have sex, pass out. All night long. See, or all day long. I prefer that, like all day long. I couldn't tell you the last time I did that, but just saying, if we're talking about what we would want, I think, yeah, definitely. So, but don't get me wrong. A quickie definitely has, it's pros to it. Sometimes you don't have that kind of time. So, it's all good. As long as both are satisfied. Okay, I'm not sure where I must have missed some other comments somewhere, but sorry, it gets tough for me. As long as both are satisfied. Oh, okay. That's the duration. Okay, so Rock, you're saying the duration is as long as it takes for everybody to be satisfied. Right. And sometimes you can do that, quickly. So that's definitely, all right. So this was one of the ones that I was thinking of. Do you think you're good in bed? Do you think you're good in bed? And if you do, how do you know that? Right? Because, do you really think that the people that suck in bed know that they suck? No, they probably think they're good, right? So how do you know if you're good in bed or you suck? You know how like somebody, oh, I'm the best kisser, and then you kiss them and you're like, no. So very interesting to see other people's opinions of themselves. And I guess that people don't also maybe they don't know, maybe somebody doesn't tell them. I don't know. I mean, we should all think we're good at everything we do, right? But, do you really know if you're good in bed? All right. So, here we go. Here goes okay, this is something I like to do when I'm having deep, intense sex, especially with a woman I really like, which is then I don't even know if I should say it. Okay, well, we need to say it because if you want me to talk about it, then we need to say it because I'm bouncing back and forth between topics right now. So when you're ready, you let me know. So again, the question is, do you think you're good in bed, and how do you know? So, like, did your mommy tell you were good in bed? That's terrible, right? I think there's a porno written about that as well, now that I think about that. Okay, so that's what I was just about to ask. Do you have a favorite part about sex? Like, what's your favorite part about sex? So, we just got, foreplay is the best part, even if sex is quick. So, women usually are all about the foreplay. Guys, I don't know. Some guys I think can take it or leave it. But usually if you're a good lover, you definitely like foreplay. That's my take on it. My wife tells her friends, that's how I know. That's great. There you go. Well, the funny thing about that too is that, if you tell, so now your wife tells her friends that you're good in bed, now all her friends want to do you. So, it becomes counterproductive because now they're all going to try to get you to sleep with them because they want to know how good you are. Okay. Never had complaints. In fact, I am a Leo, so it's something I study, not just saying I'm good to say it. But a woman should never feel inadequate. I won't come unless she gets hers in first, and my goal is for her to have multiple orgasms, as it should be. And I believe we did mention that earlier. We always said that the women got to get taken care of first, because normally women take longer, depending on who you are, of course, to reach orgasm, and not all women can have multiple orgasms. So, I think that's right. And they never want to leave. All right. Well, there you go. So then, we were talking earlier when we were trying to ask about how many times, like a week that people have sex, or how many times people have sex. So, my question is still, do couples have more sex than single people? Are single people having more sex than married people. So that's a hard, I guess if you were averaging it out, like if you were really putting an equation together, if you were averaging it out, you would, unless of course you were in a sexless marriage, I would probably say that married people have more sex than single people, because single people, unless they have somebody to have sex with, they're not having sex. Right? Does that make sense? So I would say that, that's probably how that works. So, and also, does marriage ruin sex? Because I have a lot of people on the feed right now that, are expressing the fact that they are married and they are having good sex with their partner, which is pretty awesome. And there is a lot to be said for getting to know somebody, and the sex can only get better. I know, for myself with my husband, we always had amazing chemistry together, but as our connection got greater and, the trust and getting to know each other, and knowing each other's, body, mind, everything else, I think that, it definitely deepens and it makes the sex even better. That being said, when you're single and you're having sex, it's definitely more exciting, right? Because you don't really, it's not something you're used to. So I guess there's pros and cons to both. So single people, I'm reading a comment here. Single people, even if they don't have a person, we have toys. So we still do have sex in our own ways, and it's every day with a man and without. Okay, that's true. I mean, I was talking about actual physical sex, but yes, I guess that's a very good point. Same person for the rest of your life is beautiful if you're in love and have that spark and chemistry that never leaves the marriage. I agree with that. And again, it really has to be that special person though, because, life will kill a marriage real fucking fast. So, but yeah, as far as I keep forgetting that we can have sex with ourselves. I don't consider that sex. I just consider that coming. That to me, if there's no one else involved, that's not sex, in my opinion. But I mean, it's sexual, but it's not, to me, I just don't think of it as sex. So that's why it didn't even occur to me. But yes, that's true. I mean, I guess the better question then, for that matter, we could say how many times, so we asked how many times you have sex in a month or in a week. We could say how many times you masturbate in a week. So, I guess that would be a better way to put that, right? Because, we know we always have time to spend with ourselves, right? And it definitely makes it a hell of a lot easier. You don't have to buy dinner, and you don't have to have a conversation you don't want to have. So that's that. But yeah, that would be a good question. I don't know if anybody would answer that, but okay, let's see. Sexual healing. That's something that's good for me. That's very true. Women fantasize. Okay. I think that's what Pornhub is for, no? I mean, seriously, life is definitely different when you have a different perspective on things, right? And, you throw on a little, now it's so easy, right? Years ago when you want, years ago, I sound like an old lady, but years ago when you wanted to watch a porno, you had to get you had to get that. Remember, we all had those illegal boxes. Shh, don't tell anybody. But it's all right. All the politicians are, on TV right now. No, but we needed that illegal box to get the Playboy channel. Remember when that was like out and about? And now all you need is your phone or a computer, and you get free shit everywhere. Pornhub and all 800 other websites that you go on. And you can see whatever you need to see, and you know, you could put your headphones on, nobody hears it, and you're good to go. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier to be a pervert now, because you could watch it anywhere, anytime. Let's see. B.O.B. Every woman has a B.O.B. Okay, now I'm really retarded because I don't know what a B.O.B. is. Bring what's B.O.B.? See, I'm so like, I'm behind the times here. What is B.O.B.? I need an FYI on B.O.B. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope that we at least are having fun here, and I don't know what's going on with the debates. That must be a lot of fun right now, and luckily I think it'll probably be over when the show is over, so I will miss all of it, right? I can't say for sure. Channel 30. Oh, battery operated boyfriend. Thank you. B.O.B. battery operated boyfriend. You know, I would have never, I was really trying to think about that, and I couldn't figure it out. Thank you. Channel 37 was Playboy all day with the old cable box. 37. Not that you ever watched it, right? So you weren't really sure what the number was. There was Playboy Channel, which really didn't show a lot, but then there was Spice. Remember that? Spice was the channel that had the actual sex on it. Playboy was like the girls just trying to be cute and, you know, walking around and, you know, showing their bodies and whatever. But they didn't really show like penetration and stuff like that. Even though on Spice, they didn't get down and dirty like that, like the way they do, let's say, on Pornhub. Like, you know, they have the camera like right in the, almost like cam right there. Yeah, I mean, now it's just so easily accessible. I guess that's why we're all, you know, horn dogs. But you know what? Hey, listen, think about it. You're in the privacy of your own home. You're not hurting nobody. You're not doing nothing you're not supposed to be doing. You got the phone. You got the computer. You got whatever. You got a smart TV. You get to watch, you know, porn, take care of yourself, and, you know, boom, bang, boom, you go right to sleep. Life is good. You know what I'm saying? So, press 3 and 7 at once on the old cable box. That's hysterical. It's so funny. I never even, but remember Spice? We had Spice. That was the spicier one. It was definitely not the Playboy channel, unless you liked watching girls, you know, half naked, just, you know, dance around, which I'm a woman, so I found that extremely boring. I need to see the get down and dirty stuff. I don't want that. Yeah, I'm a goody two shoes. Hey, listen, like I said earlier, you know, sex is a very funny topic. It's very taboo still to so many people, and still very intriguing and interesting to so many people. I think, you know, we've all evolved. I think there's a lot to be said for independent women right now that have come out of their shells. You know, I mean, one of the things that I had wanted to talk about was, you know, like, is being a lady in the street and a slut, you know, in the bedroom, you know, what, you know, men want, right? So, you know, years ago, that's when everybody had the gumara, right? Because, you know, it's like, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? So they married the good girl that would have their children and be around their family, but they had the gumara that they would go to do all the things that they really wanted, right? So, you know, I think that nowadays people own who and what they are. I think that women have come into themselves a little bit more so, where, you know, we know that just because we like sex doesn't make us a slut. So that's probably going to be my next sex show, is that I want to talk about like the evolution of sex and where women are now, and that, you know, we can own it and not be apologetic where, although someone thought I was a cokehead on the show today, at least I wasn't called, a slut, right? Because I was talking about sex. So, there's a lot of double standards, that used to take place, and I don't think that they take place as much now. So, which is a good thing, because so many of us had to be inhibited by what we said and what we did because we didn't want to be judged. And of course, people are always going to judge you no matter what. But okay, so you think nothing has changed with that? I think that a lot has changed with that. The kids today don't have sex, really? I was not aware of that. I guess it depends. I mean, I'm hearing that. I mean, I had a beautiful young lady on my show a couple of weeks ago that just turned 21, and she's telling me that they're all having sex, and they're having sex with multiple partners without condoms. So I don't know. I think that, everybody's just kind of owning their sexuality at this point, and they're banging around like crazy. People will always do what they do. Yes, I agree that people will always do what they will do, but I think that women own what they do more now, in the sense that they don't feel like they have to hide behind, like a goody two-shoe, facade that they can, turn around and say, like the comment that I had earlier, where this guy broke up with this girl, 26 years old, because he wanted to have a committed relationship, and she didn't. She wanted to have multiple partners and didn't want to have a committed relationship. So I think that, like when I was growing up, my mother would never be all right with that. Like, what are you talking about? You got a nice guy. You're not going to stay with him because you want to be with a whole bunch of other people. Like, who does that? So I think times have definitely changed a little bit. I'm going to say, it depends on where you're from. That's what they're up to. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it definitely does depend on where you're from. It depends on how you raise your children. But I do think that at this point, women own their sexuality much more than they used to. Even just on the feed tonight, women talking about their toys, and having, the boyfriend, the battery operated boyfriend. That wasn't something people talked about, years ago. That was taboo. You didn't talk about things like that. So I do think that, that the sexual arena has definitely evolved. And maybe our next show on sex, we will discuss that. Because believe it or not, we are almost done with today's show because this time flew right by, and this was without my caller even calling in, which is crazy. So let me see. I got one more comment. Women should never hide being sexy or be embarrassed to do what really excites them. And again, I agree with you. And I think, we talked about it earlier in the show as well, that, there's nothing sexier than owning who you are. So, I definitely, I think that more women believe in themselves now, and I don't feel that they are embarrassed any longer, which I think is a huge thing. So we can talk about that. Like I said, next show, I think we'll talk about that. We'll go into that. And I apologize that my caller did not call in. I would have scheduled other people to call in. But it gets a little tricky because not everybody feels comfortable talking about sex even still. So, again, if you guys have any comments, questions, topics, always feel free to send me. You can send it to me privately. I will never give away, your anonymity. Anything you say to me stays with me. I'm, old school. I'm Dr. Karen. Confidentiality. I will never give you up if you don't want me to. The gentleman that was supposed to call today had no issue with saying his name. So, I had asked that initially, but that was what took place. So anyway, a couple of cool, exciting things. First of all, I have my funky wig on tonight. And I always like to change my look. I have on my Aunt Lucy glasses, as my husband used to call them. And it's really cool. I know I have told you guys before, my other glasses, that the real cat eye ones with all the bling on them, is from a company called VogueMe.com. And I have a couple of new pairs coming, and they're giving me a new code. But I have the code KS, as in Karen Stacy, KS15. And I believe you get 15% off. So VogueMe.com. The glasses are really inexpensive. They actually have men and women's glasses on there. So if you are a guy and you are funky, then you can go on VogueMe.com. And when you go to check out, put in the code KS15 and you will get 15% off. Also want to remind you one more time that we are going to be, I'm going to be, at the Villa Borghese on Saturday night, March 7th in Wappingers Falls. We have Mr. Miami Mike, who will be spinning old school, our music, our old school freestyle and all that. We will be live on Miami Mike Radio. So if you don't live in the area, you can still tune in and you can still hear the music. We have a live performance with Nocera. This is all freestyle. And she sings Summertime and Let's Go. Shy is going to be performing his freestyle hit with All My Heart. OG Season Fit Miranda Ray, the Mexican. And what's really cool is that it's only $50, and it's $50 per person. It includes international food stations and 3 drinks. So 3 drinks and food for $50, and a show and music and awesome company. I think it's a steal. So again, if you want to go, you need to call the Villa Borghese. I'll give you the phone number. It's 845-297-8207. Again, 845-297-8207. Of course, you can Google that. I believe they're selling tickets on Eventbrite. And they also, I think, are selling them in the at the place itself, the Villa Borghese. So, of course, you have to be 21 and over. But you do need to purchase the tickets in advance. So if you wanted tickets, you can always private message me. I can see what I can do for you. You can comment on the feed. And I don't know if, Rochelle, if you're listening, if you could post the flyer, that would be great. And so hopefully I'll see you guys there. Saturday night, March 7th, Villa Borghese. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes because we're going to be dancing. Thank you guys for being with me tonight, through the Super Tuesday. And, keep washing your hands. And, just let's keep this, this freaking virus, don't panic. It's all the, the politics is worse right now than the fucking coronavirus. But anyway, thanks for sharing Super Tuesday with me. I had some fun tonight, and I'm sorry I'm a big allergy mess tonight. It seems to be getting worse and not better. But, hey, it is what it is. So, I was accused of being a cokehead, which is hysterical because anybody that knows me knows I'm the most anti-drug person in the world. And what's kind of funny is I just saw one of my friends, Aunt, you just came on, and he's one of my best friends for 100 years. And I went to a party with him. It was a wedding, and I stayed at his parents' house or whatever, and his sister met me, and I was like this, and I had tissues, and I kept wiping my nose, and I was like dying. And she looks at it and she goes and she says to him, oh my God, what is she, a cokehead? And he started laughing hysterically. Like, are you kidding me? Kay? No way. Like, she's the biggest anti-drug person. But I just have these times when my allergies go nuts. Look, I'm losing my voice now. So it is what it is. So I apologize for that, but I guess that's what happens when it's 60 degrees in New York. And we just went from one thing to another thing to another thing, but what are you going to do? All right. So listen, we're going to do this again. We'll pick up another real talk, real sex again. It's fun. I love you guys coming in with me on the feed and being able to interact with you one-on-one when I don't have a guest, because I can actually give you my attention and not take it away from other people. So thank you guys for commenting. I see, Kenny, you want to be a guest anytime. Thank you to everybody that tuned in and for all of the amazing comments. Yes, we'll do it again, Ken, and you can call in and we'll have some fun. All right, so on the just go have sex. I mean, we just talked about real sex for the whole goddamn show. So go have some real sex now, whether it's with yourself or with your partner. Go have sex, and when you come, scream out my name. Hey, do it for me. All right, I love you guys. Happy Tuesday, and I'll see you next week. Alrighty. Actually, hopefully I'll see you Saturday. Villa Borghese. Get your asses there. Get your tickets in advance. Thank you, Rochelle. Can you please post the flyer for me? All right. I'm signing off on Miami Mike Radio. Ciao for now. See you next week.